Here we go. That's really good. Welcome to my channel, The Fancy Carnivore. As I promised you guys in earlier videos, I'm going to be doing recipe videos because I am a professionally trained chef. I've worked all over the world for 20 years. I've owned my own restaurant. I've worked in Michelin star restaurants, if you're familiar with that accolade. I've worked at yachts. I worked as a private chef, and I worked for celebrities. There's no position in the kitchen that I haven't held, and I'm here to show you how to do some really simple carnivore recipes that'll keep you on the journey of carnivore. So one thing that I'm familiar with in the carnivore community is that I think the only supplement that I hear some people be taking is iodine supplements, either because they have some sort of seafood allergy or because they just prefer eating meat. I'm not 100% entirely sure, but this recipe has something that does contain iodine, and it doesn't have any carbohydrates or sugar, and that is this organic seaweed. So we're going to be making some organic ground turkey rolls with a little bit of cream cheese, and then we're going to bake them. And it's good for a snack. It's good on the go. It's good for dinner, for lunch, for breakfast. It's a delicious recipe, and it's super simple, and I'm about to show you how to make that right now. Let's go. All right, guys, let's get cracking. In a bowl, we're going to place 1 whole egg yolk. I got these from a local farmer, but you can use any egg. We're going to give this a little whisk. You just want to incorporate the eggs as best as you can. And I'm going to add a few spices into my egg mixture. You don't have to, of course, especially if you're doing strict carnivore. I'm with a girlfriend, so I'd like to spice it up a little bit, if you know what I mean. Eventually, I'll just be doing straight salt, but I'm sort of in a transition. So I added a little bit of smoked paprika and a little bit of an Italian mixture just to add a little bit of flavor into the ground turkey. It could be a little bland because of how slim amount of fat it has. I went ahead and bought this ground turkey from my local Costco. It was a bargain, about $5.99 a pound, and that's a pound right there. So I added into the bowl of the egg with some of the gloves, of course. So I'm just going to incorporate and give this a nice mix. Make sure all the season has been mixed thoroughly throughout the ground beef. You could also use ground beef or ground shrimp or any kind of animal protein you decide to do. Turkey, I decided I just kind of wanted to experiment a little bit, and it's a little bit on the cheap side, especially because it's organic, so it's still budget friendly. Now that everything has been incorporated nicely, we're just going to go ahead and place this over on the side. Just let that chill while we get the other ingredients together and ready. The next thing we're actually going to make, which I forgot to mention earlier when I was explaining the ingredients, we're going to make a sprinkle from these chicharrones, pork rinds. This brand right here makes some really clean ones. It's just pork rinds and salt, a little bit of sea salt as a matter of fact, so I really like it. I'm going to blitz it up in a Vitamix, but you could use a food processor or a plastic Ziploc bag and let your anger out. I'm going to cut these cream cheeses long ways and then turn the knife around and cut it right down the middle, so you can either use half of a log or you can use a full log. Here's the organic sushi rolls that I use. There's 2 sides. We're going to place the shiny side down, and we're going to use a 1/3 measuring cup. I'm just going to spread this mixture out nice and evenly to try to get it from edge to edge. Use a really good spatula. I would use one of those offset spatulas. I wouldn't really use a spatula that is made for flipping burgers, if you know which one I mean. Be careful because the nori roll can be a little bit sensitive. Once you got that all rolled out nice and evenly, you're going to sprinkle a little bit of the chicharron powder throughout the entire meat. It's going to add a little bit more fat into it since ground turkey tends to be a little bit lean. I'm going to grab the cream cheese. I'm going to stretch it out kind of like I would a piece of clay. I'm going to place it right in the beginning part of the sushi roll, and I'm just going to give it a good roll like I used to back in my high school days. Haha. So I'm going to speed it up a little bit, this process here, since it's all going to be the same. And you're going to realize as you do more of these, your technique is going to get better. It's going to improve. You might switch it up a little bit. It's always going to be progressing. And that's sort of like anything in life. The more you do it, the better you get at it. If you're not getting better, then you're getting worse. After you're done rolling these up, I'm going to place them on a sheet tray with some parchment paper. My oven, it says at 375 degrees, and I place them in the oven for 18 minutes. I let them go for a minute, and cheese doesn't just oozing right out. We're going to slice these in half, or if you want to slice them into medallions, make them nice little sushi rolls. So you can pop each one in your mouth, which is... That was a super easy recipe. You can add all sorts of different variations. If you're doing keto, you can add cucumbers in there. Although I really wouldn't recommend cooked cucumbers. That would be a little weird. You can add pickles, I guess, at that point, sliced really thin. You could do however you like with this. The turkey actually has like a texture like rice, kind of spongy. But anyway, let's try it out. Okay, you can add soy sauce if you're into soy sauce. I'm not going to do soy sauce because I'm doing strict carnivore. Here we go. That's really good. I've done this recipe before without the cream cheese, and it could be a little dry. The cream cheese obviously just adds a little bit more creaminess to it, a little bit of that fat. Try out different variations of this recipe. I'm going to be doing a lot more recipes on this channel, a little bit more dynamic, maybe a little bit more advanced, but at the same time, simple. Carnivore pastas, carnivore breads. Stay tuned for more. Like this video, share it with your friends if you want them to see how they can have carnivore a little bit more in a creative way than just steak. If you want to keep it simple, just eating steak, there's nothing wrong with that. But if you're more of the creative type and you need a little bit of that creativity to stay committed to this carnivore journey, then I suggest tuning in and checking out my recipes. I'm about to drop a lot more. Are going to do soy sauce. I don't think there's anything wrong with transitioning slowly. I like this brand by Momofuku. There's a restaurant in New York by David Chang. He's a celebrity chef of sorts. His company came up with this. This is made with organic soybeans, salt, and kombu. Kombu is a seaweed. I personally would use this one. I'm not going to use this one. This is going to be for my partner. You could always, if you're going to use soy sauce, try to use an organic one is what I'm saying, okay? All right, guys. Thank you so much for joining me. Like, subscribe, share this video with your friends, and I'll catch you on the next one. Peace.